everybody. Would you please welcome our first guest, who claims to be, and many would say justifiably so, the only real giant in professional wrestling. Would you please welcome Big John Studd. You like to throw your weight around a lot there, don't you, Mr.
That's
Studd?
right. I guess you might call me a bully, huh?
I guess maybe, yes. Even intimidation. I mean, even when you shake someone's hand, I mean...
Just give a little extra. Let them know who they're shaking hands with. I'm not some pansy like those people sitting out there. I don't watch anybody. Everybody watches me.
Everyone watches you?
Everybody watches me. When I'm walking down the street, everybody stops and they stare. I go through the airport, everybody turns around and say, hey, that's Big John Studd. That's the guy that's going to beat Andre the Giant. That's the guy that's going to be the next heavyweight champion of the world. Everywhere I go, it's like that.
Seems to be a little difference of opinion.
Andre!
Then their girlfriends, they run up behind, they say, hey, John, can I have an autograph? My boyfriend doesn't have the guts to come up to me and ask for the autograph. My dad wants an autograph. Everybody wants an autograph. And by the way, you can meet me at such and such a place. And every one of those people out there, they wish they were in my spot. Probably you do too, Vince.
No way.
I know Lord Alfred Hayes does.
Well, I don't know. Alfred has a unique position in life. I think he rather enjoys it.
I do indeed. Yes. I certainly wouldn't like to be in your shoes. They're much too big anyway.
Yes,
I think that was supposed to be funny, right?
They are rather
Not
large.
really.
We're going to take you into, by way of videotape, a match in which you met Sal G. Not exactly a formidable opponent. Okay.
But yet now, you know, watching him with this Studd and Bundy in that ring, they just make him look like a 97-pound weakling.
Really do, and bad enough that Sal G would have to face Big John Studd, but have the extra intimidation of Bobby Heenan on the outside, plus King Kong Bundy. That's a little much for anyone, I would think.
This young man has got to be very nervous in that ring. First of all, with this mountain he's about to face, and then she's and look at this. First thing he does is tries to slam. Now that's not a very wise move. You can't do that with John Studd, just like that, trying to slam him. You know, if he had done something first to knock him off balance or hurt him a little bit or something, but straight out like that, it's impossible. Look,
there he goes again.
The match interrupted, and here with me now, ladies and gentlemen, Andre the Giant. Andre, why coming out interrupting a match like this?
I will tell you first, the Athletic Commission don't let me go close to the ring. But that's okay. I'll tell you one thing. I want to challenge those guys again and again. I'll never be tired to wrestling against those guys. And I will promise you one thing. It's like I said before, I'm going to get even with John Studd. And I'm going to get even. I'm going to cut his hair, but I'm going to take my time. But I'm going to do it all the way.
Well, indeed, King Kong Bundy and Big John Studd think that...
And King Kong Bundy is another guy. He tried to hurt me. But I will tell you one thing. Nobody beat me yet, and I don't lost the match yet. And that's the way I want to stay in the field.
Andre, thank you very much for joining us. There are many fans out there, however,
I know.
that feel that
I really appreciate that.
They're behind you all the way, but they're wondering whether or not it could be either one of these two men who breaks your undefeated mark.
I never know, but believe me, before they're going to put me down, they're going to have lots of trouble.
Andre, thank you very much for joining us.
You're welcome, and thank you for inviting me here.
Andre the Giant.
Big John Studd apparently was not intimidated by the presence of Andre.
He was angered by it, and with that anger, he really did a number on Sal G.
The winner of this bout, Big John Studd.
Oh, no, don't do that. The match is over. Oh, man!
If you don't mind, what we would like to do, Mr. Studd, is since we have such a very nice audience out there, we're very responsive, we thought maybe Alfred Hayes could ask a few questions of the audience that might ask you a few questions. Alfred, what do you have out there?
Thank you, Vince. I have a gentleman. Would you like to stand up, please? And what is your first name?
Brian.
Brian, Big John Studd is right there sitting up on the podium. He's 6'10". He weighs close to 400 pounds, and he claims he is the only giant in wrestling. How do you feel about that?
Well, he's a big boy, but I've seen
Wait a
some
minute,
bigger
punk.
ones.
I'm not a boy, I'm a man.
My apologies. He's good size, but I've seen some bigger men out there.
No, you haven't, punk. Sit down, we're done with you.
I guess
All
you
right,
better
Alfred,
sit
grab
down
another
right
one.
now. Okay, we have somebody here. Would you like to come
Can you
right
be a
over
little
to
nicer,
here?
please? Be a little nicer to our guest, if you don't mind.
Sure, I'll be nice to her.
Okay,
Looks
what
like
is
a
your
nice
first
young
name?
girl.
Lisa.
Lisa, Big John Studd is right here, as you can see, so you can say anything, because don't be afraid, he's not going to come out here and tackle you. He's not going to come and hurt you. How do you think he fares now that he has Bobby Heenan, and what do you think of Bobby Heenan as his manager?
Well, I think the Weasel ain't doing nothing for you. And I want to know why he's got the bounty on Paul's head, because I'm in love with Paul Orndorff, and you can't even beat
Come
him.
on, sit down.
You didn't even beat him.
You know what? Get out of here. Sit down.
How come you didn't
Bobby
beat
the
him?
Brain Heenan is the best wrestler and wrestling manager in wrestling today. He always has been the best.
Okay, thank you, Lisa.
Alfred, you got another one up there?
Yeah, sure, I can find plenty. Everybody wants to ask questions. Would you like to come out here, sir? And your first name is?
Joey.
Joey, recently...
Alfred, why don't you let Joey ask a question?
Yeah, why don't you? Go ahead.
I spent good money to see WrestleMania on closed circuit TV, and I saw you get slammed by Andre. And I'm sick of hearing you say that he didn't
Hey,
slam you
punk.
because I saw it.
Hey,
I ain't
punk.
no punk. Your mama's a punk.
Take it easy. Alfred, you better move along to the next one, please.
Okay. Let's have a quick question here.
He didn't slam me. Nobody's collecting
What is your
the
name,
money.
sir?
Brian.
Brian?
Mr. Studd, now that you're the self-professed giant of professional wrestling, what more is there for you to do?
Hey,
in
I had to
wrestling?
prove to myself to be a giant of wrestling. I had to topple Andre the Giant, and now I'm going after Hulk Hogan, and before long, I'm going to have that belt. The World's Heavyweight Championship.
That's what's left there, right?
That's what's left.
All right. Mr. Studd, we thank you very much for joining us, and we wish you all the success in the world in your career. Best of luck to you.
Hey, and I didn't enjoy myself out here either.
We apologize for that, I guess. Do we apologize?
Yeah, you better apologize.
I guess we don't. Back with more TNT. Our next guests are most unique, to say the least, and one of the reasons why they're most unique is that the manager of the wrestler is more popular than the wrestler. Would you please welcome the Macho Man, Randy Savage, and his manager, Elizabeth.
Sit down and don't say nothing
I,
sarcastic right now. See some wrestlers in a wrestling ring. Not the Macho Man, Randy Savage. What's wrong, man? You guys are missing the boat. Pseudo-athletes, every one of them. Get them out of the ring, and I'll stand in there right now. Who's on the cover of the magazine? Not me. No, not me, no.
Why don't you have a seat?
I'm gonna have a seat before future world heavyweight champion is gonna sit in this chair right now. What? They know it, baby.
I gather that you don't like Hulk, huh?
Hulk Hogan is gonna be history, and that's a promise. 1986 is the Macho Man Randy Savage's year.
Let me ask you, Mr. Savage, do you take offense to the fact that the vast majority of fans certainly, they applaud Elizabeth. Many of them boo you, but they applaud. It seems that Elizabeth is much more popular than you are. Do you take exception to that?
A lot of people are ignorant. Yes, they are. And a lot of people are jealous of success when one man is such a greatest athlete in the world, and nobody can perceive it, no. They sit there at home with their wives, and they stare into the video scope, and they see this guy who is outstanding, yeah, does things that he says he's gonna do, and they get jealous. You understand that, Hayes?
Yes, but are you jealous? I think that was the question 5 minutes ago. Oh, no.
This lady right here, this woman right here is the Macho Man Randy Savage's property. Nobody messes with the Macho Man Randy Savage's property. As minute as she is to Macho Madness, no one messes with my property. And let me point a finger right now. Let me point a finger at Lou Albano, yeah, and George Steele. Just let me point a finger, yeah. Why don't I just say that I'm pointing a finger at them? Captain Lou, captain of a garbage truck. Like to see Andre the Giant come into the ring with me, I'd slap him in the face.
We have some footage of you, and I'm sure you would want to enjoy watching yourself, so we have some footage we brought along, the Macho Man in action.
Yeah, show me.
Florida, weighing 235 pounds, led by Elizabeth, here is Macho Man Randy Savage.
On his way to the ring, and behind the Macho, Elizabeth. I think we just lost Elizabeth. She's back there somewhere.
I enjoy this, McMahon, because Elizabeth knows her place.
Someone just handed Elizabeth a bouquet of flowers on her way to the ring. She is a lovely lady. So someone handing Elizabeth some flowers on her way to the ring, which I'm sure she greatly appreciates. She's quite a lady. The Macho Man preparing for his matchup. The Macho looks over to Elizabeth now. I think he might be questioning where the flowers came from.
I think he definitely is.
I don't think he likes it.
I don't blame him. I mean, some stranger walking up and handing her flowers and she accepts it. I think Macho Man's totally in the right, McMahon.
This is, we apologize for the conduct of this man.
Why are you apologizing?
That is obviously no way to treat a lady.
You understand?
I'll bet you Elizabeth's gonna think twice next time before she takes flowers from some stranger, McMahon.
Wait a minute.
I think she's crying. Goofy Macho Man. I must say that this is one time my bias is going to show. I am very, very hopeful that Gary Starr defeats the Macho Man.
Now, wait a minute, McMahon. You're supposed to be an unbiased announcer out here.
Not in this match. Not after what we just saw.
Look at that beautiful suplex by Randy Macho Man Savage. He's going up already, McMahon. Do you believe this? Whoa! Your wish is not going to come true, McMahon.
Well, you have to give the Macho Man credit for his physical prowess, but his despicable display of conduct moments ago with Elizabeth. And again, we apologize. Look at this. This guy's a creep.
Well, I'll tell you what.
This guy's a jerk.
Hey.
That's right, he's a jerk.
He's a jerk, huh? Don't you talk about my tag team partner that way.
Well, that's too bad he's your tag team partner. This guy's a creep and a jerk.
Unbelievable, man. Was that off the top of your head? Did you give that some thought?
Well, based upon, that was an edited version of that match. Based upon what we saw in the unedited version, in which you, well, what you were doing with the flowers and Elizabeth, obviously that's why we had to edit the match. It was Most unsportsmanlike, to say the least.
Yeah, well, let it be,
Elizabeth, how do you feel about
wait a minute, I was gonna say something right there.
But I want to ask Elizabeth.
Let it be a warning to everybody out there. Any present that you want to give Elizabeth, make sure it fits inside your body sideways, and there'll be no problem. Ask Elizabeth the question.
As in ingestion.
Either or, whatever. Don't matter to me, man. I am the superior athlete, aren't I, Elizabeth? I am 110% athlete. Can Hulk Hogan stop me in 1986? No way. Say it louder. Say no way.
No, there's no way.
No way, yeah.
All right, well, when we come back, if you don't mind, we would like to ask Elizabeth a couple of questions. Right now,
the big elbow, yeah!
We'll be back.
On anybody!
Elizabeth?
Yeah, okay, talk to me
Hello,
1 second,
Elizabeth.
and I'm gonna, listen.
Could we could just ask Elizabeth a few questions, if you don't mind.
Okay, ask her. Try starting with one question.
We'll try
and
one.
We'll find out if
Fine.
we got that right kind of momentum, yeah.
Elizabeth, what could you possibly see in the Macho Man?
Man, what a bad start.
I mean,
what a bad start. Try this and emphasize one time, huh? Stand up! Stand up! Kiss right there, yeah. Now, this one right here. Give me a kiss on the arm right there, now sit down. Need we say any more? Hulk Hogan, man, I got dreams about you, yeah.
I'll tell you what we're going to do right now.
Down to the floor with the big elbow, yeah. 1, 2, 3. World heavyweight champion sitting down right now.
We're going to take you to some footage that we saw just last Saturday night, and footage that probably is going to upset you. Let's roll the tape. All right, now. All right, now, there you saw, now, George the Animal Steel obviously is smitten with Elizabeth. I mean, there seems to be, he seems to be quite fond of Elizabeth. Elizabeth, how do you feel about George the Animal Steel?
Well,
Let me tell you something right now. It is totally 1,000% wrong. Do you know that?
Wrong?
You know it.
She was sitting,
You're my
sitting on
property.
the rope.
Nobody touches or messes with the Macho Man's property. I was talking to some stupid broad, in the audience who wanted to meet me outside, and I was telling her, no way, no way. Told the husband to sit down, and I was just about to slap him into the bleachers,
Well,
George
Steele seemed...
Bottle.
But there obviously seems to be some sort of affection between George Steele and Elizabeth. Obviously, George Steele has feelings for Elizabeth. Elizabeth, how do you feel about George Steele? If you'd please allow her to answer the question.
I'm gonna tell you something right now. You stop. You don't say nothing. In fact, yeah. Let me tell you something about Luau Bottle. Shut up, geek!
All right.
Fat boy!
I think a good time for us to say goodbye. We'll be back with the Polish Power, Ivan Putski. Stay with us. Back with more TNT. Thank you. Back with more TNT, and earlier on we saw the Macho Man, and no doubt the Macho Man has quite an impressive physique, but it might pale just a little bit in comparison to our next guest. Would you please welcome the Polish Power, Ivan Putski. And the Polish power, you've been unleashing quite a bit of that Polish power as of late, Ivan.
Yeah, I've been trying to, you know, but just like to tell you, it's a pleasure to be here again, Vinny, visit with you and my main man, Lord, here.
What's the secret behind the success of the Polish power?
The success is, Vinny, stay in shape, work out, don't drink, don't take any drugs, and get a lot of sleep.
Get a lot of sleep.
A lot of sleep.
It's done very well for you.
Oh, hey.
And
I'm not complaining.
And nutrition?
Oh, naturally, that comes with working out. Onions, kielbasa, garlic, all right, pierogi, golomki.
That's it.
Barsh, krushtiki.
I wonder if we could ask you krushtiki?
Krushtiki.
That's always been my favorite. I wonder if we could... we saw the Macho Man who was out displaying his physique. Could we... you want to take that sweater off and let's take a look at what Polish power looks like?
Okay, Macho Man, eat your heart out. This is
working on those abs. Abs look pretty good
I
there.
get a little bit higher.
Get a little drum roll. Here come the pecs. Lats. All right. How about the... Oh, right.
Hey, okay.
All right. Let's take another look at Ivan Putski. Different look at Ivan Putski. This one's in the ring. Let's go to the tape.
Spot took those shots and still maintained control. Press and kick right to the throat area. That could be construed as a disqualification.
It could be, but at the same time, that was really a good maneuver for Spot.
Spot got Ivan back in the corner. Another reversal coming up. Spotty hard into the corner. Both men hit head-to-head as he came out of there. Full speed ahead. Double count now being issued by the referee. Up to 4. Gonna have to break it now. Ivan's made it to his knees. That'll break the count. According to the rule book, but not according to the referee.
Well, I think he might be going for the hands off the mat rule.
Well, it's once an opponent reaches his knees, count must stop. Putski's upset. Look at the look on his face.
I think Spot felt the pressure of that double knockout blow.
Sure did. Putski unloading with the heavy artillery. Spotty tied up. Moondog Spot at the mercy of Ivan Putski. Wow. That was a half a hammer.
And it was right to the midsection where he's completely exposed and highly vulnerable at the moment.
Referee's job clearly cut here. Keep Putski back and get Moondog Spot out. Oh, Ivan got caught. Looked like a low blow there.
That was a low blow.
Putski now sends the dog in. Drops down over the top. Look at Dog happy with himself. Putski's waiting with a hammer. Look out. Rambo. Oh. Good night.
That's Polish power. No doubt that 1985, all the years have been great for you, but 85 perhaps the greatest. Any New Year's resolution for 86?
I just want to stay healthy, and I'm ready for any opponent. I'm in shape. Especially Macho Man and...
All right, well, in a moment, we're going to take everyone back to year in review 1985 in the World Wrestling Federation. It was a good year for you, Ivan, and a good year for a lot of other contenders in the WWF. Let's take you now to the video. And we'd like to wish you the best of luck, Ivan. Continued success.
Thank you, Vinny.
All right. Take care, pal. We'll be back as we continue. A few barks out there in the audience, and that could mean only one thing, that they are anxiously waiting for the presence of the one and only Junkyard Dog. Say, grab them cakes, huh?
Yeah, grab them cakes. That's short abbreviation for dollars.
Well, you've been grabbing those cakes, there's no doubt about that, in so many, many different respects. And I wonder, Doc, how you feel. I mean, did you ever think that, surely you thought that you were going to be a great professional wrestler, which certainly you've achieved that status, but did you ever think that you were going to be a recording star on top of it?
No, you know, I have to give thanks to, not only to my daughter, my family, I have to give thanks to the Lord above for giving me the strength to do so. But I feel like I'm blessed, you know. I strive real hard, but I never thought it'd turn over to be that.
Well, I would think that with Vicky Sue there doing grab them cakes, that's got to be something for you. Huh?
No, that put a little bit of life into you.
Or take a little bit out of you. It depends, you know.
Either way you put it.
Well, in any event.
It turned out real well. You know, I'm thankful to her and, you know, and Titan Sports, or World Wrestling Federation, for giving the opportunity. Also, Dick Clark, you know. One hand washed the other. So, you know, I needed that, and they gave me the opportunity to come on. So it turned out to be real well.
All right, well, Alfred, you really enjoyed the Dog's performance on American Bandstand.
Yes, and you know something, I was laboring under a misapprehension there. I thought cakes was akin to buns. I didn't know it meant dollars.
Buns?
Yes, I thought it was some sort of slang for
You got to get on the street, Hayes.
Buns? What do you mean on the street, man? Buns.
Yes, like hot cross buns and things, you know.
There's, that of course is on the wrestling album. There's another cut on the wrestling album by an individual who, well, he's not exactly your favorite, I don't think, but since this is somewhat of a voting process for best single vocal performance on the wrestling album, I think it only right then, and only fair, in terms of equal time, that we share your cut with what we just saw, Grab Them Cakes, with this next gentleman. His name is Jimmy Hart. The name of the tune is Eat Your Heart Out, Rick Springfield. Let's go to the tape. Eat Your Heart Out, Rick Springfield. And, Dog, you have any comments on that?
You know, I have to say a couple of things. You know, I don't like to be critical about nothing, but Bruce Springsteen, he always had, his own girls, but this guy, he had his own go-go girls, but it was men. I like that too.
All right. Well, just so we can get some sort of sampling of which tune, which cut the audience preferred, let's hear it for Jimmy Hart. All right, now, let's hear it for the Junkyard Dog. Come out a winner every time, Dog. What can I say?
What can you say, man?
All right, for the benefit of those of you at home who would like to vote for Best Single Vocal Performance on the wrestling album, you may do so by simply writing to the Slammies. The Wrestling Music Awards is Category B, P.O. Box 1538, Greenwich, Connecticut, 06836. The Dog, keep on trucking, brother. Doing a great job. Thank you very much. Sit right here. We'll be back as we continue. Back with more TNT, and right here in front of me we have a little junkyard dog. Now, let me ask you, Dog, what would happen if this junkyard dog came over here and jumped across over there and landed in the ring with the doll that's currently in the ring? What would happen?
It'll be a mess, I'll tell you.
It would?
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Could you give us some idea as to what would happen if such a match would take place?
Well, I'll just scoot on over there.
And then he goes, okay.
And you saw that guy was looking out there?
Yeah, I see. But then what
I don't
happens?
know if I sneak up behind him, hit him from the back. I just kick him in the face there.
And then?
Slide over there.
All right. Well, Alfred's up in the audience. If you wouldn't mind fielding a few questions. Alfred, who do you have up there?
We have lots of people who want to ask questions. We have this gentleman here. Would you stand up, please, and give us your name?
My name's Rob.
Okay, go ahead.
I'd like to ask you what kind of training program you're on and how you think you've been improving over the years instead of deteriorating like so many experienced wrestlers.
A lot of things with a lot of guys, a lot of people don't take privileges of doing. Like, I read a little, and I read that as you get older, you should try to cut your body weight size down. Like, usually when I was playing pro football and stuff, I always played around 285 or 300, 316. I just cut my weight down back down to 268. And that, you know, older you get, the more your body try to deteriorate, and you don't get in the gym all the time like you used to do. So I try to fluctuate it back and forth.
Oh, very good. Okay, we have another gentleman.
My name's Robert. Junkyard Dog, when you're training for an upcoming match, how many pounds of dog food do you eat on a given day?
If you want to call it dog food, hey, never can tell. Not that much heavy food.
We have
We're
another
going to
gentleman
keep that a
up here.
secret, right, Dog?
Oh, yeah, I have to keep that. My mama won't like that if I tell her a secret.
That's right. We saw your mama dancing earlier. She can really boogie.
She get it.
Okay, we have another gentleman. Give your name.
Paul Weissmutter.
And what's your question, Paul?
Oh, Junkyard Dog, do you be training for quite a while?
Yeah, I've been training out for about 14 years.
Ask him how he would fare in a match against, say, for example...
Well, why don't you ask? You seem to be asking the question.
We're going to be a fair match to Terry Funk.
How would you, if it's you and Terry Funk, what's going to happen as a result?
You know, Funk might be somewhere listening, so I better keep that a secret, too, because you never know. Funk might have some of his friends stationed out there in that crowd.
I don't think he'd have too many of them. There are maybe a couple. Alfred?
Okay, we're another gentleman here, very anxious to ask a question. Here he comes galloping out here. What is your name, sir?
Wayne.
Okay, Wayne.
I got a question for you.
That's a nice haircut you got there, Wayne. You've been out in the weather a little bit, huh?
Oh, well.
It's the new style. It's called Beaver.
Yeah.
Oh, well. When you get in the ring with Funk, let's say after you pinned him, wouldn't the ultimate be for you to brand him?
Yeah, I'd rather pick on that little one. I get more of a thrill out of just branding Jimmy hard.
You already branded him, though. He had this
I
cute
love doing that. He wiggle.
He wiggles?
Yeah. You know, Funk, he moves real slow and methodical.
Yeah.
He slimes along, see?
Slimes?
Yeah.
But you also said you like those cute little red undies that Jimmy
Oh,
Hart.
man, it reminds me of my girlfriend.
I don't think we better touch that one. Alfred, thank you very much. Back with more TNT. Alfred, do you feel that based upon the footage, and maybe next week we can take a little closer look at that footage, but do you feel based upon the footage that we saw with Elizabeth, do you think that she was in any way enticing George the Animal Steel to come closer to her, or do you feel that...
Well, what I saw there was I definitely saw that look of, would it be love or admiration or just complete infatuation that came into George Steele's eyes? And you know, quite honestly, that's the first sort of human feeling I've seen expressed in his face. I don't know whether she responds to that or not. I would hate to say that she does for her own sake.
Well, would she be worse off? Would she be worse off if she were with the Animal as opposed to the Macho Man?
What a dreadful choice to make.
I don't know. But in any event, next week we will have the Animal here, and hopefully he has not heard your words. George the Animal Steel, Lou Albano. power lifter and wrestler Candice Pardue. Adrian Adonis will also be here along with the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. So long till next week.